In today's video, we'll continue the video where World War I ended early, and we're going to look into how it affected World War II. Well, although the map wouldn't have been accurate. So let's get ready for today's video. And as you can see here, this nation, something is going to happen. With the Romanian rebellion taking a hold of some territories. Yeah, like this. As the rebels should have been easy to be crushed. Instead, they end up taking land over and occupying a bit more. And while a lack of stopping it is happening, but they fail to stop the rebellion. And it takes over more Romanian areas, with a peace treaty being reached. So let's see how it goes. In Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, an Arab state finally formed. And the Ottoman, fearless. So they go to war. When in doubt, go to war, I guess. Despite them not getting involved. Let's see how their invasion goes of the Arab nations. Unfortunately, we don't have a full map of it, since this is a Europe thing. And while they quickly occupy land over here, as they start moving an offensive over here. And while the Arab nation fails to take most lands, and them offering Britain lands if they join, but they don't. As the invasion does this. But a surprise offensive happens. Over here, they move to retake lands, with them pushing Turkey back to the border, all the way to the border, and in this region, they end up pushed fully out. And well, then a crisis happens. An invasion of the Ottoman Empire. I think on this map, the Baghdad city thing, if it was still there, then would be here, which I think it was. As I move troops to the other front, they get pushed back here, making supply lines easier to the other front for their opponents, with them trying to push them back and failing. With the Arabians now taking over, from coming in with an invasion from the southern part of Iraq. And then the Ottoman Empire withdraws from here and fails to move that front. So they end up at a peace treaty. Let's see how it goes to this nation. And well, now to get to the war. An alliance between Austria and Germany is proclaimed, which nobody's a big fan of, with them both having hopes of revenge. With this territory here being gone for re-annexation. Oh, I didn't realize the border is drawn wrong somewhere here. It is. Who knew? I didn't realize that till just now. With Germany ending up in a war with France as they decide to reoccupy this. And well, they have a tiny bit of land. with them managing to mount enough forces to launch a strong invasion. As they cross up there, with France not really trying to hold on to this enough, it quickly falls with this northern part. And well, yeah, with the war beginning over these lands. With the Netherlands and Belgium becoming a route of invasion. With them all falling out of this. But with France unable to properly stop this, they end up invading through here. Although, due to different circumstances, with it still being an imperial nation, they don't invade as well. With them crossing down in here, but failing pretty badly. But if I'm getting Austrian support, which prompts Britain to enter this. And Italy. And well, Italy launches an invasion against Austria, but they don't get very far. And well, the front continues movement until they make a major breakthrough, which causes them to encircle Paris. We'll move it here because it's technically more like there or maybe here. And while they move in and circle it and take it, but with France not surrendering. So yeah, the front line in France continues, with Austria quickly launching an invasion against Italy, as they quickly occupy areas over here and move in and manage to take Venice. And well, this is not good. With an alliance being signed between Romania and Bulgaria, and they decide to join this war. With Russia not expecting anything, but Serbia ends up entering. Why, you may be asking? Yeah, Bulgarian invasion. Well, quickly they move in, with Romania also joining in to take some lands. Well, not actually, probably not. But Austria invades to take back its lands. Of them moving in, and quickly Macedonia falls. And with Serbia being forced into surrender. And well, they move in and take Normandy over. And more parts of northern France. Because they're also fighting in Italy, which ends up having a breakthrough, with German forces moving some forces there, as this breakthrough is good. And while they use it to invade over here into the Alps, and then a move down towards Rome is done, which they use to cut across the country. With them continuing this invasion, and Italy falls. With them not knowing what to do. With Germany launching an invasion in France, and they manage to take Bordeaux, this leads to the surrender of France. But quickly, their colonies are occupied. With them seeing an opportunity for 2 invasions they know are coming, they decide to join just to start a war against Greece, and them wanting to dominate Europe. And well, Bulgarian and Austrian forces quickly occupy all of Thrace, and the Ottomans quickly occupy their ocean islands, and even make a landing in southern Greece. And then a push down here manages to take Athens, which leads to the fall. And also, they have significant success in Egypt, taking Cairo and stuff. But it's not that important because Britain occupies all of North Africa. With an invasion of Poland leading to Russia entering, which is not what they wanted. They're hoping Russia would chill. Well, guess what? Russia didn't chill, with their invasion of Poland being very strong. And they quickly capture Warsaw and continue. And well, they manage to take over all of it as they continue their advances in the northern parts of Russia. And they also start an invasion Romania does, and they move in. And they take Bessarabia. And while they continue their advances. And yes, an invasion in the Caucasus begins. So that goes nowhere because, well, yeah. Well, Russia's on the defensive, with British troops arriving in this front. And well, quickly they move north of Crimea and a battle takes place taking it over, with Germany rolling all the way in. And well, their invasion leads to the Donbass region being captured. And well, with them getting pushed back in a major offensive that's to protect Moscow. With them and the Ottomans moving into this offensive, into the Caucasus, and they move into Armenia. And they take over what would be Azerbaijan. And on this front, they continue their offensives. But instead of connecting and getting fire, Russia launches its own offensive and manages to quickly take Crimea back. But getting out in this front would be devastating, probably. But they come out of that front. And while a British landing in France is successful, with them quickly bringing troops in. And while they launch an offensive here to connect with this front, with them moving into what would be Ukraine to start the second battle of Kiev, which they win, and they take Odessa. With them getting pushed all the way back, and their northern front getting pushed back. And well, this is what the front looks like. Not really good. And well, they managed to get another nation to join, and British, Arabian, and Iranian forces are coming after Turkey. Yep, you heard that right. The Ottoman Empire is going to collapse. And quickly they take over the area around the Levant area and Syria, what it would be in this other area. Yeah, they're not having fun. With them surrendering, but quickly German and Austrian forces come in to occupy it. And they manage to get all the way here. Just for Germany to turn them into a puppet state. With Austria and Germany turning into a massive puppet state. With them assuming it'll take a long time to fully take over. With them managing to stall out all the fronts. And they use this to push Britain out of northern France, which is a big success, which forces them to have to use one of the mountainous nations for a route to invade. And they use Italy. And they land in here, and quickly they make a few more landings. And quickly they have more people in this invasion. As they're islanding, yes, that's what they're doing. They manage to get into Italy, which starts leading to more Soviet advances. Not Soviet, Russian advances. The Soviet Union doesn't exist in this series. With Germany managing to advance over here, holding this front. So Russia decides a second route of invasion is necessary. With Romania for parts of Bessarabia, try to get away with it. But they don't get any favorable surrender terms. With Bulgaria offering that to switch sides, and they agree to it. Why, you may ask, is more strategic, probably. And with Germany being really angry about this. As basically all of this becomes their annexation. With Bulgaria launching an invasion to liberate Serbia. And they quickly kick them out of Greece. With Britain's not doing fast enough, so they land near Rome and quickly take it over. And with all of this, they start landing more. With France being mostly liberated. And Russia launches an offensive to Budapest. They believe to split this nation up is their best move. So quickly they do this. And Austria is forced into surrender, followed by this area. Germany being forced all the way back to their borders. And while the Russian invasion quickly moves in, taking Berlin, and then they move one to capture Munich. And Italian and French forces move all the way, with the fall of Berlin to Russians, and so on and so forth. So now let's look at a peace treaty for the four nations. Yes, ends up 4. Bulgaria gets favorable terms because they left early. So let's see how the peace treaty goes. Arabia and Iran gaining significant lands. Russia gained a tiny bit of lands there, and not all of Romania's coast. Bulgaria got some. Bulgaria also got Macedonia, per the terms for changing some. And Greece and Yugoslavia, or yeah, let's call it Yugoslavia now, become Russian allies. And they occupy all of Turkey, Romania, Czechoslovakia, Austria, Hungary, and eastern parts of Germany. So basically it's split between imperialists, with Britain annexing a colony here. Italy annexing some coastal territories from them, all of them basically. And France and Britain split occupations. The occupation that was there gets split between the south and northern one. And then there is a occupation to them, and Poland gained a bit of lands in Silesia. And well, that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!